Don't forget to subscribe, add your comments, and share your memories. If you have any old VHS tapes or even DVD to dispose, let me know. Drop me an email on seaeagle666@gmail.com.
A sad and respectful note for one of the game's legends, Clive Churchill. As Conlon starts this match off for us tonight, the Steelers bringing it out 15 metres from their own line. And believe it or not, they are supremely confident of really serving it up to Balmain in this match. They, of course, have the wooden spoon. Balmain probably the minor premiership, but they really don't care. They were very keen to get this exposure on television tonight, and they aim to give it their very best shot. Dorahy sending it down deep to Stephen Humphries, playing in the 14 jumper. He's played at the ball. They're all onside. Patterson leading the charge down the ground. That's a good chase by Illawarra. If that typifies their keenness for the next 80 minutes, then they're not going to be too far behind, if in fact they are behind when Barnes calls full time.
Well, Balmain are entitled to start as clear-cut favourites, but I've got a feeling that Illawarra are going to make them earn every point.
This is Clark tackled just outside his own 22 line. The ball back to Gale, who puts it onto the right boot, going down to the 32-metre line to another of the game's great full-backs, John Dorahy. And a kicking duel coming out of it between Dorahy and Stephen Humphries. No breeze here tonight. Dorahy has worn the green and gold of Australia, the black and white of Wests, the maroon and white of Manly. And here he is on the Sydney Cricket Ground, a place that he's had many of rugby league's best memories in a kicking duel with Stephen Humphries. In fact, it's been a long, long time since we've seen a duel as long as this. Now it's Scott Gale. He's back on his own line, and Balmain better get out of this because they're losing ground with every kick.
I was about to say that Humphries is going to need all the help he can get. Dorahy's a very experienced performer, and in a kicking duel, I think he'll come out in front.
So Dorahy has the ball on his own halfway, or on the halfway, I should say, just on his own side of the halfway, and it's been put downfield now by Greg Mackey, and it's found touch 15 metres out from the Balmain line. So in most duels there can only be one winner, and John Dorahy certainly was the winner on that occasion.
I'm sure that both coaches would feel that they've got an opportunity to make breaks in this game out wide, and the centre defence of the opposition is a little bit suspect, and that being the case, we should see quite an open game with plenty of ball movement.
This is Jason Moon who plays the ball, or David Moon, I should say. David's the winger in jumper number 2. Jason is the blonde-headed centre who you'll see later.
He's an interesting player also, Jason Moon. He played for the New South Wales under-18 side this year, so he's very very immature to be playing in a debut year in the firsts.
This is Worthington. Dorahy. His kick going down to Stephen Humphries, who was on the run, so he decided to keep running, and now he's given it to Gardner. Gardner going down the touchline on the showground side. Big run by Gardner. Gale. Brooks. Brooks will nearly score. Conlon will. It's a try to Balmain. Scored by Ross Conlon. Started from a John Dorahy kick that was marked on the run by Stephen Humphries to Gardner, and then it came quickly across the ground. 2 cut-out passes. Brooks ran into an opening, And then it was Conlon who was able to put the ball down for Balmain to lead by 4 points to 0.
The Illawarra defence here was never settled. Brian Hetherington stayed out for as long as he possibly could, hoping the cover defence would come across and help him when the overlap developed, but that wasn't the case. Brooks was able to spear through the gap. Hetherington came in to clean it up, but Brooks got the pass away to Conlon, and his momentum was able to carry him over.
8 metres in, 22 out. Hits it, but it's wide, though it's coming around. So the first points in the match to Balmain. They lead by 4 points to 0. You're watching Monday Night Football. And we're on the 5th tackle of Balmain's first set of 6. And a penalty goes to Illawarra. It's against Hemsley for lashing out with the boots in the tackle. He was getting plenty of treatment, Hemsley, by the same token, so he decided to hand a little bit out himself. So referee Barnes has been asked the question by Pearce, and Hemsley is, as you can see, saying something to Pearce. But it's back to Joe Cool. Beautiful night in Sydney as Dorahy punches it sweetly straight between the uprights. Illawarra's first points, Balmain 4, the Steelers 2. Any N9 viewers in Tamworth, you're with us tonight for the first time, I'm led to believe. Welcome along to you people watching us in the New England from that beautiful city that we've been to a couple of times now with National Panasonic football. Monday Night Football with Gale taking this kick for line, and it's Balmain to take the tap 20 metres out from the Illawarra line. Here's Brooks. There's 11 minutes of the first half to go. Brian Smith would be happy to get the Steelers into the dressing rooms down by just 2 points, wouldn't he? On the other side of the coin, Frank Stanton would be chomping at the bit to get a slice of these guys. Here's Schofield. This is it, I think. No, it was good wing defence out there by David Moon. He read it well. He stayed out on his man. Here's Bridge turning it back to Pearce. Pearce stands, unloads. It's taken by Stephen Humphries. Tackled by Jeff Selby. And the ball played back to Elias. Across to Gale. Now to Bridge, the run around for Gale. He cuts out Hemsley, picks up Schofield, but there's defence all over the shop. A run around on Owens, back to Gale. Now it goes out to Davidson. Davidson goes for the corner. Oh, that's a try. That's a try that Illawarra didn't probably deserve to have scored against them because their defence has been quite strong, but on this occasion the last two players, David Moon and Steve Larder, gave a pretty ordinary exhibition of how to stop a wing three-quarter with little ground to work in. You see it again, be the judge, but here was Gale on a run-around mission on John Owens, and then he gave it to Davidson, but Davidson has only got a couple of metres to work in. He beat Larder. Larder went in with the shoulders, but he didn't clamp with the arms.
It was really Scott Gale's try, this one. We can see through the first pass, and then he looped around. Second man play here, and he picked up his outside support, but he didn't drop off. Like a good footballer, Gale kept in this movement and kept it alive. He came around again, doubled back into the play, fired the pass onto Davidson. Two Illawarra players had a shot of it at him, but neither of them could put him out. A good, well-earned try by the Tigers.
John Davidson, the man we were telling you about earlier, he's played a very big part in what the Balmain Tigers have done this year. Here's Conlon now. He's looking for his first success. He's missed it again. Oh, he's having a woeful night, Conlon. It's 8 points to 2 in favour of the Tigers, though. Right on the halfway. A tap to be taken by Bolt. O'Connell turned a little hit and spin. Gee, it was good to watch. And it's played by Jeff Selby. Now the ball's out the back and across from Pizzetti to Mackey to Patterson. Patterson jinks and tries to go through. He's a man that commands a lot of respect from the defence. This is Pizzetti again, tackled by Brooks over the top of him. They're behind 8-2 and 2 tries to 0, but well, this has got to be a penalty to Illawarra against David Brooks. where he is on the field. He's 40 metres out. And with the clock showing just seconds remaining, they could have gone for a fair bit of distance from the kick and maybe fluked a six-pointer. Although I suppose off the tap it was going to be always very predictable what they had to do. It was going to have to be a bomb. So he's a kicker who stands the ball vertical. And he's going to come round the corner. He's got plenty of height. I like this. He's got it. Oh, good kick. How do you feel, Raymond? It's 8 points to 4 in favour of Balmain.
You noticed I wouldn't say a word.
You stayed right out of it. Thanks a lot. Here's half-time. Have a Tui's or something. We'll be back in a moment.
The Tigers probably too late in the match, starting to draw them in up the middle of the rucks. They tried to spread the ball all night out wide. They've certainly got this game upside down.
Here's Selby, 10 metres on the Steelers side of halfway. That's Pizzetti. Inside the last 10. Larder's kick. Sending Stephen Humphries way back to his own goal line. He's out to the 10. And there they come again, the Steelers. I think somebody forgot to tell them where they're running on the competition ladder. They couldn't care less. I'd say here's a football team that this week hasn't read the papers. Good luck to them. They've played well. I'm pretty sure even Balmain supporters would be saying, geez, how come they're running so far down the table? Just under 9,000 people here tonight to see this match. Gale. His kick is going down, and finding it. Right back into the field, a play by Larder. This is Moon. Imagine if they get up and force a draw at 8 points all, what the footy tab will pay out on. Or what the payout will be. This is Saunders. Tackled by Pearce. Worthington. 32 metres out from his own line. This is Pizzetti. Illawarra sending their last replacement on. Who is it, Gray?
Paul Upfield in 17. He's replaced Michael Wicks, who only a moment ago himself was a replacement and has popped the shoulder.
Well, Patterson kicks. Touch judge rules the ball out on the full. There's the kick. The cameras are onto it. Let's see what happens to it. Bingo, it landed on the line. It's out. You can hear people on the effects microphone singing out, "You're kidding." I'm glad we had that replay, that Tui's replay. Here's Gary Bridge. He's home singing ragtime. Balmain, a 4-pointer. And our statistician, who's a freak of a Balmain supporter, just fell on the floor. I think he typifies the fact that they've been holding their breath all night, waiting for the Tigers to show a flash of brilliance. They put it together for their third try. Scrum-based combination. Bridge scores.
One always had the feeling that Balmain could pull something out of the box here. It was a set play from the scrum where Bridge sliced back the blind side. His 5'8" Michael Patterson opponent never followed him, and that gave the extra man. Bridge was able to capitalise on that. The defence stayed out for Illawarra and he went all the way.
Gary Bridge, the try scorer, the third try for Balmain. And 12 points to 4 the score. And now Frank has become more composed. Ross Conlon hasn't kicked a goal. He couldn't miss this, could he? 9 metres out, right in front. He's got it. 14 points to 4 in favour of Balmain. one of the magnificent wine producers of the beautiful Barossa Valley in South Australia. They've been behind the Steelers for some time now, and the Steelers appreciate it very much. Put down by Jason Moon, kicked ahead by Schofield. It's play on. If he gets a bounce, he doesn't want the bounce yet. Now he wants the bounce. He picks it up. Oh, out of nowhere came Saunders. And now it's little Greg Mackey trying to get out from in the in goal. But it's a line dropout. Look at this. Schofield was about to pick it up, and then Saunders came along and bingo. He took the ball and Schofield's head and everything with him. But it's a line dropout for Illawarra to restart. Gary Schofield looking as though that's one try I should have scored. Here it is again. He kept it on the boot, dribbling it along the ground, just waiting for the right bounce. It didn't come, and then he said, now I've got you. And Saunders said, I've got both of you. Get out of here. 14-4 in favour of Balmain. Should the scores remain as they are now, as it goes across to Conlon, tries to straighten on the 22 line. I'm just going to give you the points for and against if you're interested in this minor premiership result and the team that'll get the week's rest. Actually, I think that's the thing that's more important than who is actually adjudged as minor premiers. Here's Gale going for the drop. He's got it. Yes, sirree. Another point for Balmain. 15-4 now. Balmain have now scored 432 points for, 240 against. That gives them a plus of 192. Saints 3824, 240 against, and 142 plus. Here's a kick at goal for Ross Conlon from right on the halfway. This will be probably the one that he'll make look simplest of all. Halfway line. Frank Stanton just looking down the ground and saying, "You'll probably get this." 1 from 5. Ross Conlon. He hits it. And he's got it. Ross Conlon from the halfway line. 17-4. In favour of the Tigers. Here's Davidson. This is John Owens. Gale. This is Mike Marquito. Gale again. Conlon. Gale's kick. This is Lada asked to play the ball. Saunders. Mackey. Patterson. And 21, is that Bradley? Patterson. Long pass out to Brian Hetherington. Pizzetti, Worthington. Well, this result, 17-4, seconds remaining in the match. It'll look as though on the record books Balmain had an easy win here at the cricket ground tonight when we look back on it in years to come, but they certainly have been thrilled with the performances in this Illawarra side tonight. They can hold their heads right up. They got beaten by 17-4. They didn't score a try. Conlon, Davidson and Bridge, they did score for Balmain. Conlon kicked 2 and Gale kicked a field goal. And Dorahy and David Moon kicked goals for Illawarra.